Here's the bottom line. Government has been weaponized against we the people. September 23rd, 2022, Mark Houck at home in Pennsylvania. 10 unmarked cars pull up to his house at 6:30 a.m. and arrest him in front of his wife and 7 kids. What'd they arrest him for? Praying in front of an abortion clinic and protecting his son from some crazy person screaming swear words in his child's face. In fact, he was prosecuted, went to court, and the jury of his peers found him not guilty. 12 days after he's arrested, our witness, Mr. Vaughn, at home in Pennsylvania, and arrested in front of his wife and 11 children. And what was he doing? Exactly what the chairman said, praying and singing hymns outside of an abortion clinic. Came and got him. March 5th, 2024, in Mr. Big State, Penny McCarthy, 66-year-old grandmother, in her driveway, U.S. Marshals pull up, guns drawn, and arrest her. They said she violated parole, a parole violation for a nonviolent offense from 25 years earlier. And they show up with guns drawn and arrest this lady. She said, I think you got the wrong person. And guess what? She was right. They had the wrong person. And of course, we had a hearing on this right here in this room. Brian Malinowski, top official, highest paid official in the municipal government in Little Rock, Arkansas. Gun hobbyist, sold 6 guns, and the ATF said, you're a felon because you sold 6 guns without a license. And they show up, again, 10 cars, show up at 6:01 a.m., first thing you see, because we got the video, the first thing they do is walk up and put tape on the doorbell cam. 53 seconds after they put tape on the doorbell cam, Brian Malinowski is shot and later dies. And they weren't even, this wasn't even an arrest warrant, this was a search warrant. They've been surveilling this guy for 2 weeks. They were gonna go the week before, but found out he wasn't home, so they waited for him to be home. You can't make any sense of what they did. Government has certainly been weaponized against we the people. And of course, last week, what did we find out last week? 2 Inspector General reports came out last week. The first one said, when Chris Wray first started at the FBI, they spied on Capitol Hill staffers. And here's the amazing thing. One of the guys they spied on is the guy who's going to replace Chris Wray. They spied on Kash Patel. Got the email, who you're emailing to, emails coming into you, phone calls. Did that to, and it was Democrats too. Democrats should be just as outraged. They were spying on Republican and Democrat staffers. And of course, the second report that came out last week from the Inspector General, we find out that there were 26 confidential human sources here in the Capitol, at the Capitol. Well, some of them came in the Capitol. 26 of them on January 6th. 17 went in the restricted area, 4 went in the Capitol, 0 were arrested. And remember, confidential human source is a fancy name for spy. Spying on Americans that day. And we also know they spied on parents, right? Spied on moms and dad going to school board meetings. We know that. They set up a snitch line. You could report on parents. One of the FBI whistleblowers that came and testified in front of this committee, this Congress, told us he was sent to go get license plates from parents in the parking lot when they're at a school board meeting. Our government doing that. And of course, all this makes me wonder, are they spying? Might they be spying on pro-life activists? Other Americans who are concerned about the sanctity of human life, might they be doing that? Well, guess what? They tried that too. They tried that too, because we got the memorandum from the Richmond field office earlier this Congress. Page 4, this memo says we now have new opportunities to mitigate violent extremism threat through outreach to traditional Catholic parishes and the development of sources with the placement and access to report on places of worship. Now that's fancy FBI speak for we're going to put spies in the parish, spies in the church in America. All this stuff happened. So thank the good Lord, we had a change in this administration back on November 5th. I want to thank the chairman for his tireless work on advocating for the sanctity of life and looking at this law. I want to thank Ms. Hawley, Mr. Vaughn, for what you've been through, both of you for coming and testifying, and Mr. Crampton for your good work at the Thomas More Society and for you being with us today. Protecting the sanctity of life is critically important, and just as important is the First Amendment. Your right to speak, your right to pray, all the rights we enjoy under the First Amendment. And that's why this committee, which is charged with protecting the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and those important freedoms we have as Americans, is so darn important. I thank the chairman for all his good work and yield back.